The whole video is black and white. I love black and white videos.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about Aaliyah and Selena and the similarities between their deaths and their lives, their legacy. So starting off, they were just both beautiful women in general. Aaliyah was absolutely gorgeous. Selena was absolutely gorgeous. They were very talented. Let's put that out there. I love a couple songs by Selena, and of course, dang near every song by Aaliyah. They were definitely talented. You go to their music and you can feel the talent within it. They also had great music. My favorite songs by Selena are Dreaming of You, I Could Fall in Love, and Como La Flor. And I don't know anything she's saying in that song, but I still like it. And I know that she's talking about a rose, I believe, but I still like it. It's very catchy, and it's kind of like the ABCs. If you really want to learn it, and if you say it over and over, you'll get it. And I just repeat what she says, although I'm probably not pronouncing a lot of the things she says right. And then my favorite songs by Aaliyah are I Care For You. That's like my #1 favorite. Of course, Rock the Boat and We Need a Resolution. But I would put We Need a Resolution as #2 on my favorites list by Aaliyah. But anyways, those are my favorite songs by the two, just to name a few, because they have a lot of good songs. But anyways, they both left a huge legacy, not only on the world, but in the music industry. They really touched lots of people and all people. And that's just powerful. I mean, they had a big fan base each. A lot of people admired them, and they were very big supporters, and they had fans that were literally coming to see them. That's very powerful. They left a huge legacy, and they both deserve to even have a legacy. And they definitely left a huge legacy on past, current, and future generations. They had a huge fan base back in the day when some of us weren't even born. They also have fans today, like me, in the new generation, and they probably will have many more generations who love them, because people are going to pass them down to their kids, and their kids are going to pass it down to their kids. I'm definitely going to tell my kids about Aaliyah. She had beautiful music. It's definitely suitable for a kid, although she's talking about adult things, but it's still better than letting them listen to Cardi B and people like that. I would definitely tell my kids about Aaliyah. I would definitely show my kids about Selena so that they can be old school like me. You know, my kids are going to be very old school because I am. And I'm still stuck in the 90s, although I was a kid in the 90s. I grasped on to everything that the 90s carried back in the day, and I took it and ran with it. So now I'm an old soul. My mother is also an old soul, and my dad, he's very old school, so it just worked out. And that's what makes me old school, and I'm glad that I'm old school, and I wasn't raised by parents who think they're young and loose. I was raised by good parents, so future generations are definitely going to be hip. I'm pretty sure they're going to be here for a very long time. Let me show you guys this beautiful view that I'm looking at. Beautiful. I also showed you guys the sun setting in the beginning. Sorry if the lighting is going down. The sun is over there going down, so don't mind the lighting. I came to film this late. It's 8:17, but anyways, yes, there are going to be a lot of people who remember them and who learns about their legacy. That would definitely be something educational to teach the kids, especially diving deep into the meaning of things. But anyways, they had their own style. Now, Selena was making her own clothes, which kudos to her, because that's very motivational and inspirational. I definitely want to make my own clothes. I want to make merch for you guys eventually. So to see and know and hear that she was making her own clothes and to see it in a film, is wonderful because she made it look so easy, even though she probably went through so much. It was probably difficult for her, given the fact that she was also a singer, a performer. She had to make clothes, not only for her, but her band, and it was just probably a lot for her. So she definitely teaches young girls that you can definitely do anything you put your mind to. And Aaliyah is the same way. She was just getting into making her own clothing line with her best friend Kidada, and it would have been amazing. I definitely would have been her #1 fan, and I would have been ordering everything. Most certainly, Aaliyah was definitely getting there. She was gonna have her own hair product. I definitely would have bought it because she did have some beautiful hair. And they were very original. They stuck to what they wanted to do. Just to see everything that Selena had on and know that she made it is just amazing. Now, I'm pretty sure everything she wore wasn't made by her, but mainly her performing outfits was made by her, and they were beautiful. Like, they just had their own style, so no one was gonna have that unless it was after the fact, you know. And Aaliyah had her own style. Like she said, she would look at what's going on in her time, take a little bit of that, but still keep it her own, but add a little bit of influence in there, you know. But it was still her own. And I think that that is very inspirational. They were pushing an agenda to be yourself, stick to your style. And that's why I do what I want to do. You know, when I want to change my hair, I will do that. If I want to dress like a tomboy, I will do that. But I'm still girly girl. You know, you just have to be yourself and not try too hard to fit in. I see every girl in today's time wearing graphic tees, mom jeans, just a bunch of the same things. They're all getting their nails done, long nails, pedicures. They all do wigs with the dramatic baby hairs. Let me not start because I do have my time. I still keep it to where it's me. I don't look at all the girls on the internet, you know? And it's just really sad today. People like Aaliyah and Selena are very missed. They were definitely alike in a lot of ways. They just did what made them happy, what was them sincerely, and they did not branch off into the industry and what other female artists did. They did what they wanted to do, and that's big. Now, I'm not really familiar with Selena, but I do know that she was very hands-on in her career, just like Aaliyah. They were very creative, and I can really speak a lot for Aaliyah because I see her music videos and such. But I don't really listen to Selena like that. I don't really branch into her music videos and her life like that. I mean, people have their specifics and they just know about other artists, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I, you know, see Aaliyah's music videos and they are very creative and very subliminal. And she was definitely creative. Half of the things I seen Aaliyah do, a lot of artists weren't doing back then. You know, you would just see the same thing, glamoury, glittery, low-rise, tight jeans. And you had Aaliyah. She was, you know, bringing the baggy pants and the crop tops and the side parts with the glasses. Things that people weren't doing, things that people were afraid to do. A lot of people are afraid to be themselves in the industry because there's this persona push that you have to look a certain way, and Aaliyah did not go for that, and I'm pretty sure Selena did not go for that. While listening to Selena's songs as well, I can speak a little bit on her music because I've heard it. It is very creative and it's very loving and romantic, and it makes you feel everything she's singing about. And if an artist's music can do that, they are very powerful and very creative, very, very creative. I always think that if I become an artist, it would probably be so difficult to know which songs to choose and when to turn them down, and just to know that Aaliyah and Selena, they just chose perfect songs that fit them. I wonder how. You listen to their songs and it just sounds like it was meant to be for them. I just can't see myself doing that, so shout out to artists like them. Another thing they had in common was that they were both passionate about music. They loved music. It just looked like it touched their souls. You can definitely tell that they loved music while on stage performing. They really took pride in what they did. They worked very hard, especially Aaliyah. She said she would work hard. She wouldn't leave the studio until she got the song right and it was finished. Even the people that was working with her, they would all just stay and work until it was a masterpiece. They were just very serious about what they did. They loved it. I definitely already seen a similarity, especially when I figured out who Selena was. I was like, wow, she reminds me just of Aaliyah. Now, I also thought that too, some of Selena's looks remind me of Aaliyah and some of her poses, and it's really crazy. And she reminds me of Aaliyah when I look at her interviews, like the way she talks.
As not only as an entertainer, but as a person who cared.
Thousands of people. In the end, it's all worth it.
Possibly could, and the best person that I could. I tried to help out.
And when that guy comes along, I don't know what he'll know.
And describe stuff, her motion, you know, the way she moves.
We've got all the big artists. Guess who we got here? Selena Quintanilla. Selena, bienvenidos a Tejano, USA.
Thank you, Waldos.
Nice
Good to be here. It's a sexy
We're gonna
song.
talk backstage.
It really reminds me of Aaliyah. Sometimes I'm just like, did Aaliyah know who she was? Was she like watching her interviews or something like that? Because they literally act the same and they remind me of each other so much, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. About their careers, this is basically, you know, their career in music. They were very serious about their careers as well. I know I'm speaking a lot about Aaliyah because I know more about Aaliyah than I do Selena. Aaliyah, she said that she doesn't play when it comes to her career, her music. She will put anybody in their place when it came to her music. And I'm pretty sure Selena was the same way. It's like their work. It's a job. You know, you're gonna take your job serious, especially if it's something you love to do. You're definitely going to take it serious. They were very passionate about their careers, which was a beautiful thing because I feel like some artists, they just do it to be seen and to gain attention and clout and just to be paid off of it. But some artists, they really take the time to put the efforts into their music. And I can name so many celebrities, but just to name the two that we're talking about today would be Aaliyah and Selena. Another crazy thing about the two is that they both died in their 20s. That is insane. What are the odds? They died so young. 20, you're still a baby. When you really think of their ages, you're just like, wow, like, I'm gonna eventually pass that age. And this will be the age that those artists passed away. So young, like, I'm young. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really crazy to know that, which is really strange. Now, the biggest thing about the two is that they were both asked the same question. Now, the question was, how do you want to be remembered when you're long gone?
As not only as an entertainer, but as a person who cared a lot, and I gave the best that I could, and I tried to be the best role model that I possibly could, and the best person that I could. I tried to help out.
Right now, it's hard to say what I want my legacy to be, what I want people to say when I'm long gone. I want people to look at me as a full-on entertainer and a good person. We'll talk a few years down the line and we'll see where my head is at then.
At such young ages, you ask someone that, and I know that they probably just want to answer, but it's really odd. How do you want to be remembered when you're long gone? Like, they have years to even think about that, you know, and tomorrow's not promised is probably why they asked them. But then again, were they asked that because they knew something? Was it a setup? Were they framed? Or was it planned by the industry? Now, I feel like it was definitely planned because you mean to tell me they were both asked the same question? And I also want to say they always seem to make artists a documentary and then some artists end up dying. Really weird. Like, why a documentary? Aaliyah had a documentary and it was called Aaliyah's Diary. And I know that Destiny's Child also had one on MTV, but Aaliyah had one and Left Eye also had one. Now, I'm not sure about Selena, but it's just really weird. But we definitely lost two iconic females who definitely touched the industry and the world with their lovely souls. I can't even imagine what their families must have been going through. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still going through it. No one should have to bury their children. I also wanted to ask if it was a coincidence that these two were both asked that question and then they suddenly die. I definitely think that these questions were planned. Someone knew that they would be going out soon. I definitely don't think that Selena was just killed from a jealous woman. I think it was deeper. A lot of people think her dad had something to do with it. That's another video. They will never be forgotten, and that's just how much they touched the world. We will never forget them. We will always keep their legacy alive and what they started, and we will forever continue it. They also will never be replaced, ever. I see a lot of artists being put out to replace these particular artists, and it will never happen. They will always be loved, most certainly. Aaliyah will always have a spot in my heart, and Selena will too, because it's just sad how she went out. They will always be appreciated for their kindness and their imprint, their music that we still have today, and they will most certainly be missed. That will be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to put together as much as I could. I am going to be including the videos where they were asked the questions in this, which I probably did in the beginning. Sorry that it got so dark. The sun officially went down, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Stay crazy.
Do you remember?